Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Thanks for stopping by and watching another Crazy Postman Luba episode. I'm really enjoying all the new subscribers. So fun to talk to all y'all. In this episode, I thought it would be neat to do more of a basic episode to show everybody what the specific mowing tasks look like and how to set them up. So when I say mowing task, this is what I'm talking about. You select the area you want to mow and you hit mow. And then up there in the top right it says task mode. You click that and then you can choose from various options here. So this first example here is efficient cutting. So you see all the options there on the left. When you choose efficient cutting, high grass, or fine cutting, you cannot change any of those options. That's just what they are. Efficient cutting's kind of just like your normal everyday cutting. So I clicked confirm and mow, and it's going to do its 3 side laps first because I have it set to do it that way. You can change that to where it does the boundary cutting last. So it's already done its 3 laps around, and now it's just going to go back and forth until it finishes. And just for information, I don't have any no-go zones in this area, so I can't show you the no-go zone laps. I will make a full video in a few days over the new no-go zone settings, but for right now, my Luba just bumps and goes around. So this is an example of fine cutting. So you can see on the left side, the cutting route spacing is much smaller at 9.8. The task speed is also lower at 1.0. Obstacle detection has changed to level 1, and it's going to do a double grid. So that means it's going to go back and forth in its normal direction like you just saw, and then it'll go back and forth in the opposite direction. And our side laps are at 3 still, and no-go zones are 0 because I still don't have no-go zones here. Let's check this one out. So this one took quite a bit longer. I've upped the speed of the time lapse to 8x. It does take quite a bit of time longer, and my computer's going into warp speed fan mode here. But you can see, since the cutting path is not as wide and the speed is slower, it definitely takes its time going across the yard. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, this is an automated lawnmower, so it doesn't really matter how long it takes. Hush up, computer. I guess running live 4K 8x video is a little tough on my video card. So now what we're going to do, we're going to build a custom task mow area. So you have all the options here customizable now. So you can see I'm changing the path spacing. I've already changed the task speed. You can change the obstacle detection, and you can change your grid here. So for this example, we're going to want to do single grid, and we're going to do a plus 30-degree offset to see what that looks like when it mows. So Luba's going to build the map here, and you can see it just goes 30 degrees across the yard, just like the other ways it mows, except now it's sideways. So it'll still be straight lines across the whole yard. It'll just be at a 30-degree angle. So let's go ahead and start this, and we'll get into the time lapse. This was recorded before the latest update, so the menu's going to look a little different. So it is transiting still, even though it says bad. Luba is moving very slow, and it seems to be wandering around just a little bit. It's moving left and right now, trying to decide which direction is forward, I guess. Yeah, it's way off path, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's in the right spot at all. It's in the grass over here. See, it doesn't even show it's in the grass, but it's in the grass. There it goes. See, it just popped back over. So now it's making a big right turn to get back over where it's supposed to be. And the precision's a little better now. That was interesting. Now it is doing better, and it seems to be right where it's supposed to be. So we will get to this time lapse and enjoy. So now we're starting the plus 30-degree time lapse. It's going to do its side lapse. I'm going to go ahead and cut those out right to where it's doing the back and forth action. So I've bumped this up to 4x, and you can see it has started its 30-degree back and forth action. It does it the same way as it does the other cutting paths, except it's at a 30-degree angle. Computer's ramping up to warp speed here now. We're about to hit that tree. I have it set to level 1, so it just goes around it after it bumps it. This was filmed before they fixed the no-go zones, but I really don't think I need a no-go zone here. It gets really close anyway. Okay, so here comes the negative 30-degree offset mow. I pulled out a piece of plastic there at the beginning. I forgot about that. So this guy walked down the street and he kind of got freaked out by the mower for a second. That was funny. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the beginning laps again real quick. So we're finishing up the beginning perimeter laps here. I left this in because I want to show you something. So the Luba is going to go to the far end and then drive across the yard to start its 30-degree laps. Now this is something I think Momotion should optimize. Not that I care that it starts at the opposite end of where it finishes, but just turn off the mowing blades when you're driving across the middle of the yard. So now we're just going to continue cutting at a 30-degree angle in the opposite direction until it's done. So you join me here in the Momotion app. I just downloaded the new firmware. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the front yard in segmented. I've already done it every other way pretty much. If you do segmented, when it builds the segmented grid, that little notch at the bottom is last. But when it builds the single grid, the notch at the bottom is first. So that is literally the only thing I can see that's different between the two with my front yard. I don't think there's any need in me filming the whole thing since it looks like the single pass except just that little notch. One does it first, one does it last. But I am going to send Luba to the front to mow anyway. I'm going to do it in a segment just to see. And we're going to do it at 2.2. But what I'm most interested in is when it goes through the narrow pathway next to my house and that tree. I want to see if it behaves any differently after it goes through the fence with the new update. Because it loses satellite signal there, it gets very unsure because it goes real slow and it seems to start searching around. So we'll go ahead and send Luba out and I will film it going through that area. So I've already included this video clip in another video I've already posted, so no need to spend too much time here. But you can see with the new update, Luba does seem to be able to make it through this pathway a little bit better. It didn't end up over here in this stretch of dirt that I call grass. And there is actually a difference with the segmented. You can see here in a backyard picture that it does north and south passes on both sides, but east and west passes in the middle. So doing a segmented cut will make a difference on the cutting pattern, a little bit more than I showed you there in the front yard. I guess the segmented mode allows Luba to cut up the yard into different sections. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I appreciate y'all watching another episode. So many people are subscribing. My channel's growing like crazy. This is awesome. But thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.